Ah yes, fake gamer girl, a pejorative term that is thrown by someone at literally every female gaming content creator online who shares a passion for the hobby on the information superhighway. Whether it's being Twitch streamers, YouTubers, TikTokers or Instagram users, females across all of these platforms are constantly scrutinised by a select few who seem to have never met a woman in their entire lives who shares their interest in gaming. These sheltered individuals, who appear to have limited real-world social interactions with the opposite sex, use the term fake gamer girl with online communities to cast doubt on the authenticity of women who claim to be avid gamers. This label insinuates that certain women are feigning interest in video games or gaming culture simply for attention, social acceptance, or to align themselves with a particular subculture rather than having a genuine passion for the hobby, which, to be frank, is an incredibly weird thing to do, especially considering how bad a lot of you smell. But I am sad to admit there is a high probability that these people who have too much time on their hands regarding such matters may potentially be right. So with that said, I am Lady Decade. Subscribe and join me today to discuss, are fake gamer girls a problem? Some consider the concept of a fake gamer girl to be deeply rooted in stereotypes and biases, particularly those that perpetuate assumptions about women's interests. I mean, how could I possibly be into gaming when I should be distracted by other things? After all, I don't know anything about coding, I'm afraid, but I do love little kittens. They're so soft and furry.
What a delightful thought, you dear, sweet, fragile little thing.
Women, know your limits.
On such a subject, some feel that the implication that women might only engage with gaming for attention reinforces the notion that gaming is just for men. You know, like the products that some of you might want to consider using on your balding grey heads. While there is a large contingent of gamers online who do manage to successfully tick all of the right boxes to fit the male pencil neck geek stereotype of players, it's also essential to recognise that individuals of any sex can be enthusiastic gamers, and just because there are fewer of us doesn't mean we don't exist at all. Now, I'm sure from here you would love for me to talk about professional cam girls and OnlyFans models, some of whom do perhaps at times use the hobby of gaming to generate an audience to sell a different kind of content, but that could potentially serve as a juicy topic for another time. Instead, we're going to simply focus on gamer girls who are 100% undisputedly fake. Those whom we know for sure have zero passion whatsoever for gaming, who instead solely exist online to make money with them, serving no other purpose whatsoever. Yes, that's right, fake gamer girls are out there, and some of them are making a lot more money than myself and many other creators in the space. So let's discuss a prominent example of one of these fakes, but equally as importantly, whether or not they could be considered a problem. Let me introduce to you Fit a Tanner, a Barcelona-based creator who is described via her Instagram account as being a gamer at heart and a fitness lover. This in top shape, pink-haired, scantily clad vixen has over 263,000 Instagram followers and has as close to perfect of a body as someone could ever wish for. So, with this said, it's not surprising why so many people are following her account to gaze, or potentially more than gaze, at her photos. But what is amusing is that we have proof online that in the real world, this woman has never touched one single video game in her entire life and is in reality everything that detractors typically say about all female content creators in the gaming space. Fit a Tanner is only here for the attention and, most importantly, the money. In fact, this pink-haired purveyor of gaming and fitness currently earns up to 10,000 euros per month by combining her looks with these invented interests. Definitive proof that if so-called gamer god detractors are right about anything, to get wealthy off such a ruse is indeed entirely possible. So let's look more into the apparently 25-year-old A Tanner, an influencer who reportedly regularly gets DMs from celebrities asking her out. But the twist, if you haven't already realised, is that this woman doesn't exist at all in the real world. She is a complete fake.
We got you.
It never happened.
It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up.
That's right, like many things that have appeared within the online space recently, Aitana is completely AI generated, meaning she only exists in the digital world. As reported by Euronews.com, Aitana is the world's first Spanish model created by artificial intelligence. The person behind her incarnation is an individual named Ruben Cruz, founder of a modelling agency in Barcelona, who claims to use AI tools to carefully curate thoughtful, long-lasting models that beautifully represent diverse personalities to take the virtual world by storm. Ruben states that the idea for Aitana was born during a rough patch in his career, as he didn't have many clients at the time. He adds, "We started analysing how we were working and realised that many projects were being put on hold or cancelled due to problems beyond our control. Often it was the fault of the influencer or model and not due to design issues." Essentially what he's alluding to is the Instagram models and other influencers that he had on his books were often found to be unreliable and would cancel brand deals they had agreed upon to pursue offers of more cash. In the Euronews.com report, Ruben comments, "We did it so that we could make a better living and not be dependent on other people who have egos, who have manias, or who just want to make a lot of money by posing." Since her creation, the article outlines that she has recently become the face of Big, who is a sports supplement company, and you can currently look at photos of her wearing lingerie on a platform called FanView, which is said to be a competitor of OnlyFans. To bring a touch of realness to this fake gamer girl's fictitious life, the team working at the agency have meetings to discuss what is going on in Aitana's life. This includes working out what she is getting up to, where she is visiting, and planning her upload schedule. The production process for her snaps is created by simply mixing AI with the skills of human Photoshop experts, which allow the agency to generate the most engaging imagery possible. In the report, Cruz adds, "A lot of thought has gone into Aitana. We created her based on what society likes most. We thought about the tastes, hobbies and niches that have been trending in recent years, which perhaps explains why they chose to give her pink hair and have her describe herself as a gamer in her profile write-up, even though none of her Instagram photos show anything to do with gaming." What's amusing is it isn't even just this Instagram account that has its focus describing herself as a gamer without the imagery itself linking to gaming. For example, try searching up the gamergirl hashtag and you will quickly note that most of the Instagram users who use it are not uploading photos that have anything to do with gaming. They are literally only using the search term to generate traffic. Now here's the part why many consider these fake gamer girls to be a problem. It relates to the chestnut that has already got old in just a few months. The idea that anything AI related is bad and that it's taking work away from real creatives. Such a threat becomes even more apparent when you read in Cruz's Euronews interview that he is currently inundated with requests from brands who want him to create personalised AI models to promote their products. He states, "They want to have an image that is not a real person and that represents their brand values so that there are no continuity problems if they have to fire someone or can no longer count on them." A demand that Cruz seems happily obliged to try and meet, particularly considering that he believes influencers get paid too much for what they do anyway, adding, "Kim Kardashian makes €1 million for an Instagram photo and she doesn't cure cancer. Nobody should earn €1 million for uploading a photo to a social network. It seems absurd to me." Living in a capitalist society with supply and demand economics shows us that Cruz is most certainly wrong. In most circumstances, people are paid based on how much income they can help a company generate. Someone like Kim Kardashian might earn $1 million from a picture, but the large corporate sponsor expects to make significantly more from their investment than the individual paid. But then again, because corporate greed is a thing, if companies could find a way to not pay Kim Kardashian and keep more money from themselves, I'm sure that's a tempting prospect for them. So, living in a competition-driven world, in my opinion, he is within his rights to try and develop AI models that can generate as much attention as a Kardashian or, indeed, any living, breathing influence for that matter. Everyone is replaceable, and why should an influencer or photographer be treated any different from, say, a coal miner or a Blockbuster employee? It's harsh, but it's true. Even I myself am on the chopping block at the behest of savvy AI users. So, back on topic. Essentially, while many consider an agency to be the middle person in a brand deal between an influencer and a brand, in this interesting circumstance, the middleman has managed to cut out the influencer and take the entire prize pot for themselves. So, it's not surprising that some might find this a little concerning. Many seem to be finding a certain schadenfreude from all of this, as it's common for individuals to become jealous of celebrity and influencers alike, with detractors often feeling hard done by due to perceiving those in the spotlight to have an easier, more convenient life than they do. Hence why articles on the downfall of celebrities and YouTubers spark so much joy in many. For this reason, you'll find certain corners of the internet championing this development as a victory against the real-life so-called fake gamer girl. It's proof for those who hate them that they provide nothing more than a pretty face, which seemingly now can be replaced by computer-generated images created by a man. Now, those who proclaim to despise thoughts can create their very own thoughts and generate an income off the back of it. Or her. Let's not get into that. In fact, when it comes to platforms like FanView and OnlyFans, a select few feel that now these AI models exist, they feel more comfortable giving their creators money with the safety of knowing that none of the money they are spending on saucy content is going to a real woman. The reality is, it isn't just AI models that people are afraid will take jobs, but AI by many is considered to be the big bad boogeyman across the board. For example, you have those people who cry online and say that people who use AI to help generate images for YouTube thumbnails are taking away money from real artists, even though most YouTubers have never been able to afford artists anyway. Or all that kerfuffle about Hollywood using AI effects in their movies, even though it would have required a team of people to work with the AI to create the effects anyway.
They did your job! They did your job! They did your job!
The truth of the matter is, artificial intelligence is completely useless if it doesn't have people to use it and take advantage of it. For example, in this instance, while a traditional influencer isn't making money from the brand deals we mentioned, old Ruben Cruz, toiling away in his office, has gained an opportunity to earn more of that brand deal moolah for himself. The cold hard fact is that in order to stay at the forefront of a rapidly changing world that we live in, if you don't want to be left behind, capitalising on change is essential. History shows us that those who have resisted or dismissed incoming technological revolutions are the ones who have lost everything in the past. Young millionaire, entrepreneur and host of the YouTube channel Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, highlights this flaw in human nature in his book. He brings up that once the CEO of the world's largest music stores uttered the words, "People love music, and that's why we'll always be in business." But then iTunes happened. What makes this all the worse is that such a CEO was briefed on the future of digital music, but scoffed at the idea of it being a threat, and mocked it as being nothing more than a space rife with piracy. Bartlett, speaking to one of the CEO's associates, said that the CEO in question had leaned out. The desire for those who were earning money from an existing scenario to lean out when hearing of a threat to the way they do things is common throughout history. For example, we have seen for the last year long-form creators on YouTube attempting to vilify and bury the use and significance of shorts, referring to them as content for idiots with low attention spans. The truth is that it doesn't fit into their current business strategy, and most of them are too stubborn to attempt to change course. The retro gaming creator community is full of skeptical and dismissive dinosaurs like this. They have leaned out.
I do not believe you wanted to do that. Only me.
Building on this phenomenon, in his book, Bartlett highlights a scornful prediction by writer Clifford Stoll, which was published in Newsweek. I'm uneasy about this trend and oversold community. Visionaries see a future of telecommunicating workers, interactive libraries, and multimedia classrooms. They speak of electronic town meetings and virtual communities. Commerce and business will shift from offices and malls to networks and modems. Baloney! The truth is, no online database will replace your daily newspaper. The irony is, Newsweek would later be forced to move their entire business to online. Other examples are cited in the book, such as those attacking the Ford Motor Company in 1903, with a famous detractor commenting, "The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty, fad." Or how about 1992, when the CEO of Intel stated, "The idea of a personal communicator in every pocket is a pipe dream driven by greed." I mean, smartphones would never take off, surely. Stephen in his book outlines his own trials and tribulations of this nature, whereby he would experience big brand marketing departments leaning out when he pitched to them in 2012 that they ought to be on social media. Many who found the idea preposterous are no longer in business today. The strong aversion to all the changes listed above, including the rise of AI, comes down to one thing: cognitive dissonance. To not lean out, ChatGPT tells us that cognitive dissonance is a psychological theory developed by Leon Festinger in 1957. It is the psychological discomfort resulting from holding conflicting beliefs or attitudes. People strive to reduce this discomfort by changing their beliefs, attitudes, or behaviours to align with one another. It influences decision-making and behaviour as individuals seek internal harmony. Essentially, this is why it is so hard to change people's minds on AI, despite it being very clear that it's going to play a huge role in our future. Oh yeah, and why so many stubborn YouTubers refuse to try making any shorts. So where does this leave us? It's simple really, don't be a lean out person and try to have an open mind regarding whatever looks to be the next big technological revolution. And at this point, if you want to be successful, you shouldn't be fighting against AI, but championing its potential and benefits. The future is scary for everyone, and every innovation from cars to computers, mobile phones and the internet, well, to quote Stephen Bartlett once more, if a technology is threatening the status quo and making people angry, always lean in. Those who have the patience and conviction to do so will undoubtedly own the future. Those that don't will continue to be left behind. For this reason, I don't think these AI fake gamer girls are a problem. They're an innovation that will make their creators very wealthy, and after all, why should those who create these characters not deserve a slice of the influencer pie if they are indeed influencing? Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe before I am replaced with a fembot. Then check out my upload on the dumpster fire that is Nintendo of Russia. See you soon.